Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to the conversation. MKJ here, Mary Catherine Johnson, and I invite you to open your minds a little bit to the possibility of diversifying your revenue from agency work, high ticket, high touch, low volume, to adding some low ticket, low touch, high volume work where you get monthly recurring revenue at lower price points. Now, I'm not talking about Go High Level or ClickFunnels or ManyChat or HubSpot or any of the programs that we all know and love as agency owners that we can use to, quote, create a SaaS. This is the big thing right now with GHL, where you can actually create a SaaS program. And I get it, totally been there. I know lots of people who have done it. I've dabbled in it. I'm not talking about that kind of SaaS. Because that still takes customization. You might as well still be doing just an agency. That's really all that is. All you're doing is selling your template that you typically use in your agency to customers and they'll use it on their own, but somebody still has to customize it. So even though you're only selling it for, 197 a month or whatever, that's a huge undertaking for someone to have to customize all that stuff within the GHL platform, right? All the emails, all the SMS messages, all the chatbot messages, the web copy, right? The snapshot, all the details still have to be customized by somebody. So that's still a service. I'm talking about software as a subscription. So bear with me. This is something new that I have not seen before. So you tell me if you've seen it, okay? Uh, I can now build in a drag and drop no code software tool. I can now build a um, automation that solves a very specific problem for a particular business, let's say a lead generation. Okay. I was on a podcast interview this morning and I was asked in rapid fire, how would you do lead generation for a hair salon? How would you do lead generation for a lawyer? What about, she gave me like 3 or 4 different scenarios of how I would do lead generation for these particular businesses. And one of the number one things I usually never go to ads. I'm just not an ads kind of gal. Um, I go to automation of organic outreach. That's my go-to. And I can now build an automation, a software as a subscription for exactly that. It's organic outreach, but it's automated. Okay, so bear with me. You know what high ticket agency work is, right? You know that agency work is you have a little bit of a longer sales cycle. You've got to go out and find people who might need to hire you for your knowledge, right? Whether you're a Facebook ads expert, you're a chatbot builder, you're an email marketer, you're a content writer, right? You're a copywriter. That's your knowledge, your ability to perform a particular task with your brain, right? You're not out digging ditches or coal miner, right? You're a knowledge worker and you can charge high ticket prices for that. But the sales cycle is you talk to someone, you get them on a sales call, you ask them lots of questions or a discovery call, whatever you call it, and you ask them lots of questions, find out if you're right fit, find out if what they need is what you can do, right? All those things. And then you sign them on. They usually, if you're building any kind of software tool like a ManyChat or GHL or ClickFunnels or whatever, you're going to have a higher initial price for you to build out the thing. Email automation, right? You have to do the actual automation, build it all out. So that's usually a higher price in the upfront, and it's anywhere from $2,000 to $10,000 on an average, right? I've charged all within that range and more, depending on the size of the project. But let's just say $2,000 to $10,000 for you to build the thing. That's an agency model, freelance model, where you're actually performing a service. And it's great. It's awesome. If I had 3 clients at $10,000 each that hire me to build something, well, I've just made 30 grand. But it may take me 3 months to build that thing before my retainer kicks in and everything's live, right? And then I get a retainer, which is a smaller amount monthly, maybe $1,500, $2,000, $1,000 a month, right? That's an agency model. It's high ticket. You are high touch service, doing lots of specific detailed things for that particular client. What I'm adding to that is that low ticket, low touch. So let's take that organic automated lead generation. I have 4 of these types of automations already built and running and collecting leads for my subscribers. Okay, let me just go through one of them, for instance. So I've built in this no code tool an automation that does exactly this thing and only this thing. Everybody's selling in DMs, right? I'm sure you are just as tired of it as I am, where someone asks you to connect, let's say on LinkedIn or in Facebook. Send you a friend request. It happens more in LinkedIn, but happens in Facebook as well. They send you a friend request, and you're like, oh, cool, yeah, friend request. We've got 10 people in mutual friends, right? Let me check out what this person is about. And then they immediately send you a DM with, "Oh, I'd love to invite you to my thing, invite you to my webinar. See my free training, download my PDF," right? So they're immediately selling me on something. They have no desire to actually build a relationship, right? That's not what I'm talking about in lead gen. What I'm talking about is, let's say you are looking for leads for your agency. Okay, this is the automation I've built. So you just want to stick with your agency. You just want more leads. That's cool. You can sign up for this agency lead generation task bot. And what it will do is it will, based on your niche criteria. So you go to Facebook, you open up Facebook, you do the search bar on Facebook, and you search for leadership coaches, right? Or you search for ecom CEOs or ecom businesses, whatever. But you do that in pages, in Facebook pages, because that's the business page, right? You're not connecting with the individual, you're connecting with the business page. So you go, let's just say leadership coaches. You're going to serve coaches and you want to do maybe chat bots for challenges or something like that. And so you put in leadership coaches in the search bar. When that result comes in, you could look to the left-hand sidebar and you choose pages. You can do people too, but let's stick with pages because we're in an agency and we need to serve actual business pages. And so you get that link, that URL. You take that URL from Mindset Coaches and their Facebook pages. You put it in my automation. You tell my automation how many of those profiles you want it to collect into a database. And you tell it how many, and this is per day, and then how many DMs per day you want to send to those qualified people. Because you're going to look at this list. You don't want to take everybody. You're not a person, please. You're not a person who just wants to play the numbers game and just take everybody that is in the mindset coach business and just spam them all. I would rather be more targeted and more specific and build relationships with the people that matter and that people that I think I can serve. So you're going to take that list. My automation is going to get 100 people on that list. So let's say you want to look at 100 people a day. Awesome. It collects 100 people. It collects their Facebook page link, their Facebook page name, the number of followers for this page, whether or not this page is currently running ads. That's important for me in an agency, right? Because if they're able to spend money on ads, they're able to spend money on me, right? Whether or not they're spending money on ads, what their website is. Okay, so it's going to gather all this data and put it in there, 100 of these, and put all that data in a database. My wonderful agency, I am going to go in and look at that data and I'm going to go, no, not that one. And all that data is there. I don't have to go click through unless I want to find out more. I don't have to click through and do a bunch of research. All that data is there, whether or not they have ads, what their website is, what their information, what their bio is, so to speak, their link, and how many followers they have. And so I'm going to look at that and go, no, yes, yes, no, and find the people, qualify the people or the pages that I think would be worthwhile for me to contact and potentially build a relationship with that might lead to them hiring my agency. So there's the first thing. So let's say out of that 100, I find, my goodness, I could easily find upwards of maybe 30. Okay, so 30. And I'm going to tell the automation, I'm going to qualify those. I'm going to say yes under the qualified column for 30 of them. And then I am going to customize the DM a little bit, not drastic, because this is just the initial outreach, right? I'm not driving for them to go straight to buy something from me. I'm going to just start with the initial DM of actually starting a relationship. And this, I don't need to get them as a friend because I'm not doing this as a page, not a personal profile. And so I might say something in the DM, and I'm telling you right now, besides the automation, this is the place where it will make or break your outreach. It's not about me, it's about them. Okay. So I'm going to say, hey, I'm really enjoying your content. And I've looked at some of their stuff because I see in there all the details of what they do. I'm enjoying your content, or I'm happy you're providing value on mindset, right? Whatever it is I'm talking about, that initial praise, if you will. Um, I was wondering um, where else, what other platforms I might be able to engage with your content. Can you let me know? In the meantime, this is my standard. Please don't use this for yourself. Adapt it for you. In the meantime, I'll keep stalking your stuff and loving every minute. That's my initial outreach. A positive about them. I'm enjoying consuming your content. I'm loving your mindset approach. I'm really happy that you have a very strong leadership style, right? Something based on the target market you're targeting, the niche you're targeting, and you praise them on it. Then you say, I'd love to connect further. Where else can I find your stuff? What other platforms are you in? Do you handle your own DMs? Something like that. And then say, let me know. And in the meantime, I'll just continue consuming your content and enjoying every minute. Okay, that's your DM. So the automation will send. You wanted 30 of them that you qualified. The automation will send over a time per frame so that it doesn't have your account at all in jeopardy. Your Facebook Messenger account at all in jeopardy, saying, "Oh, you're sending too many messages." You're going to vary that, and in the software, it helps you do that. It's going to send those 30 DMs on your behalf. So a process for going through 100 profiles and gathering all that data could take you easily probably 2 to 3 hours. And then hitting send, copy, paste, send, right? Which also Facebook doesn't like for you to do. So we vary that in time. Could take you another hour or maybe 20 minutes, who knows? Okay. So that whole time frame is condensed down to maybe 15 minutes going through this 100 list and qualifying the top 30 or however many you qualify. So this automation will allow an agency to cut the time to find leads and increase the response rate for those leads, because I'm also teaching you how to do the DM, right? Making it much more effective. And you're increasing profit for the agency. Now, me as the TaskBot builder, as the one who built this software, and it's a very specific software serving a specific need only. It's not a GHL that's trying to be everything in the kitchen sink. It's not a ClickFunnels that's trying to be everything in the kitchen sink, right? It's not a ManyChat that's doing email and WhatsApp and chatbots and Instagram. No, it's not that everything in the kitchen sink. It's a specific task that is saving specific time on a specific manual process. And I built it so people can subscribe to it for $19 a month. And they save huge amounts of time and increase their likelihood of finding more clients. That is how, because I know agencies, and that's how I find clients, is through that process I just showed you manually. I know agencies, I know how to solve that problem, I know how to find clients, and I've automated that entire process and offered it as a monthly subscription so that I'm not only dependent on my high ticket, high touch agency, I now have a low ticket, low touch software as a subscription product that I own, I've built, and I offer it to other agency owners. Do you see how that is allowing you to make more profit and have more stability and security in your business by adding SaaS, but not service like GHL, subscription with task bots? I hope you see how you can bridge both of these worlds and look at the niche you serve, the business you currently have, and how can you take one of the manual processes that you currently offer or have to use in order to serve the people that you serve, take that manual process and automate it. How can you take that manual task and automate it to save time and increase profits. That's how you can add a software as a subscription to your agency. Please think about this. Do it. Go to callmemkj.com slash SaaS, SaaS. I'm telling you, this is brand new. It just launched on AppSumo. If you're watching this in live with me in February, it's in its second week in AppSumo. Just got deal of the week in AppSumo. And I'm telling you, this is the ticket. It's not that difficult. If you've done things in GHL or ManyChat or ClickFunnels, you will be able to do this. It's not that difficult. You don't need to be a developer. You don't have to hire developers. You don't know how to code, none of that. It is no code, drag and drop, task-oriented software as a subscription. And I really think that if you are tired of the high touch, high ticket being your only revenue source, I'm not saying you're going to dump that, right? I'm just saying if you are tired of that being your only revenue source, and especially if you are a newer agency owner and you are tired of the revenue roller coaster where you go find a client and they're paying you $5,000 and you're like, yes, 5 grand, fantastic. I can focus on this client, pay my bills, do all the things. And you focus on that client and a month later you look up and go, crap, I got to find another client. If you are in that kind of a revenue roller coaster, then this will help you be more secure and have higher profits because it doesn't take as much time as a high ticket agency client does. All right? Does that make sense? Augment your high ticket, high touch agency providing service to those clients with a low ticket, low touch SaaS, software as a subscription, and find a specific task that you know a lot about, a manual process like I just brought you through. Let me show you another one real quick. I have a podcast and I need to find podcast guests. Well, that's a very specific process as well. I go to my suggested friends list because most of my friends have been on my podcast and their friends will probably be good candidates. Most of their friends will be good candidates for my podcast because it's an entrepreneur podcast. So I'm going to go to my suggested friends list. I'm going to look at each of the suggested friends on there. You know, how many friends, how many mutual friends we have, what's their website, what's their bio, um, you know, um, what do their posts look like. I'm going to look at that data. I'm going to have all that data gathered into my data table. But let's just say this manual process I do. I'm going to look at all that data for each person on my suggested friends list. And I'm going to say, oh, I wonder if this person's a good person or not to be on my show. And when I find someone, I'll send them a friend request and I'll send them a DM similar to the one I said. So the DM would be something like, hey, I'm really loving consuming your stuff online, seeing your posts online, seeing your videos, whatever it is. I'd love to invite you to my podcast, CEO Mischief Maker. If you're interested, let me know. You notice I'm not immediately giving them the link. I'm not trying to spam them with a link. I'm immediately not going to like that if somebody sends that to me. I'm just going to reach out and say, hey, I'd love to invite you to my podcast. If you're interested, let me know. In the meantime, I'll keep stalking your stuff and loving every minute of it. And that's the DM I send to each person that might qualify for my podcast. Well, now I have an actual software as a subscription that does exactly that process. And it automates the whole thing. All I have to do is go and qualify because not every one of the people on my suggested friends list is good for my podcast, right? So I need to go look at that and see which ones are. And I qualify, say yes in the qualification, and the taskbot will automatically send the friend request and the DM. And all I have to do is sit back and respond to the people who actually respond. And I get an 80% response rate to that DM. 80%. And that is not to sell them something, that is to start a relationship. So I know those two processes I know a lot about. And so I can take that one task, whether it's finding guests for my podcast or initiating a relationship-based lead for my agency. And that process, I can build an automation for it and offer it to other people who are like me to be able to diversify my revenue, increase my security in my revenue, and actually enjoy more profit. If you're interested, call me mkj.com/SaaS, SaaS. And there's also on this channel a playlist for how to build SaaS. Go to that playlist, start learning how to do it, and I'm going to take you through step by step how to do this. It is absolutely something that any agency owner who has done anything in tech, like I said, GHL, ManyChat, any kind of drag and drop building kind of software, HubSpot, um, Drip, right? Infusionsoft, any of those things, Salesforce, any of those things that where you've had to do an automation to have a task completed in any of those kinds of softwares, you can now do the same thing, only now you own the software as a subscription. You get the monthly revenue, low monthly revenue for people who are enjoying a task automated and enjoying more time and more revenue without having to do that manual task or hire a VA to do it for them. All right. I hope this helps. I hope I see you on the other side. Please let me know what you thought of this video, and I'll do more. This is my first live on YouTube that I'm able to do recently. I mean, my goodness, I think the last one was in 2020. So it's been a long time. So let me know what you thought. Let me know if this helps. Let me know if there's a specific task or a specific topic you'd like me to talk about next. And in the meantime, call me mkj.com/SaaS, SaaS, to see how this is done. And go to the actual playlist, How to Build a SaaS Product Business, and start learning how to do this. It's not that difficult, I promise you. All right. Happy Thursday. If you're joining me live, if not, let me know you're watching this on a replay. And I'm telling you, jump on the SaaS rocket ship, software as a subscription rocket ship, not software as a service. And I'm telling you, you will diversify your revenue and have more profit and definitely less stress. Definitely. Chat soon, people.